You're watching Polycab, India's #1 cable and wires company Dream Home Season 6. It gives me immense pleasure in welcoming each one of you to join us in the journey of finding the most beautiful homes in Kerala. With us on our panel, we have Anuj Gopakumar, the Chief Architect of Kumar Group. Sudha, Architect and Interior Designer from Swasti Group. So it's time for us to take a look at Vadakkeparambil house in Kottayam.
Hello friends and welcome to Polycab, India's #1 cable and wires company, Dream Home Season 6. Today I'm standing in front of Vadakkeparambil house in Airikanam, Kottayam district. Well, if I start talking about the build of the house, it's a traditionally built house and they've used a lot of natural stone work. The natural stone work, first of all, it's eminent right from the entrance. There's a midway which you can be used to climb up till the entrance. That whole pathway has been done using natural stone. Same natural stone work can be seen on the pillars. The side pillars, all the pillars have been done using that, and they've used a lot of wood paneling also. That denotes a traditional structure. We have a sit-out area right next to the entrance. It actually spreads out to the sideways even. For the flooring, what they have used is granite in the complete section, and this is the natural stone pillars that I was talking about. That you can see, all pillars are natural stone, and we have a lot of windows in the exteriors even, which I believe helps in a lot of lighting inside. So let's go inside and check out the interiors. It's a 2,500 square foot house, 3-bedroom. So standing here, I can get a clear visual of the insides. We have bedrooms on either ends, and there's a center courtyard, there's kitchen on the sideways, and this main hallway extends to the dining. The standing out feature in this particular section has to be the wood paneling done. They've used a lot of wood, natural wood in the interiors. This house is Polycab proof by India's #1 cable and wires company. I'm sitting in the official living space, which is right up from the entrance. Well, we have windows on either ends, which helps in the cross ventilation and lighting. They maintained a warm color tone inside. The most credit goes to the light yellow shade what they have used, and the furnishing has been kept minimum. They have used just go in accordance with the traditional look of the overall house. So we have the center courtyard, which is done using a lot of wood paneling work. Wood paneling that denotes the pillars. So they have used on the ceiling also wood paneling that teamed up with a lot of glass work. So that lets a good amount of sunlight to enter this particular portion. The flooring has been done cover using natural stones and white pebbles. Around it, backyard is an extension of the dining area. Wash area is also located close by. So here we have the family living space. The furnishing also clearly denotes that this is a traditionally built house. Like this swing, for example, this we only get to see in the traditional houses. Right next to the living space, we have the staircase, which leads us to the open terrace upstairs. Well, they have used a lot of woodwork, as I said, so even the furnishing and the staircase is completely wooden. So we have the dining table made from strong teak wood. It's a glass top dining table made from natural teak wood. Right next to this is the wash area. Even the kitchen is located close by. It's a traditional kitchen, but they have made it semi-open, so it gives a very welcome feel to to the whole kitchen. For the detailing, well, it's granite top and there are wood cabinets provided below and above. They also have a work area attached with this. The flooring remains to be granite. I'm in the master bedroom now, and they have kept the detailing to very minimum. What they've done is they've given a different color on the headboard area. Otherwise, the side walls are in the same light color texture. For the flooring, it's dark color granite, and there's a separate dress area. The dress area has been covered up using wooden wardrobes. There's windows on each corners, so that helps in the cross ventilation and lighting. And it's a very spacious room. Even the inclination is quite good, and it's a front-facing window, so that gives a clear visual of the of someone outside. So with that, we round off today's episode. That is from Vadakkeparambil house near Ayirkundam, Kottayam district. This is Abel signing off. I'll see you in the next episode.
So we just had a look at the house, and it's time for the judgment, and I request you to say your exterior and landscape point of view about this house.
Yes, this house is set in a typically Kerala style settings, wherein we have the sloping terrain. The entire house is set in a sloping terrain, so from the entry point to the house is quite a gradient. As per the location of the house, actually the entire front facade is exposed to the gate and the entry point. It has been planned out in a very Kerala style with the three-way sloping roofs, four-way sloping roofs, and gable ears, gable ends, and all the features that a Kerala style roof would have. But there's something that's gone amiss out there. I have a feeling it could be the proportion of the gables versus the sloping roof. So there's a little bit of a incongruence there, wherein the gables seem to be bigger than or rather in proportion to the roof, the gables appear to be much bigger. Perfect proportion is missing there. They've gone for a normal landscape, not done much of a landscaping, but of course the ground leveling has been done. They've got these steps leading up to the house through the central way, of course, which is the shortest route, and the driveway that follows the slope. They've gone for the lower end of the material. They've used the bitumen tarmac for the driveway, which is of course one of the better methods of negotiating the slope. But that's not a very eco-friendly one. It allows too much water to run off the road. It's not absorbent as might be a tile. And coming back to the house as such, they've gone for this fully veranda style, which is a standard Kerala style of treatment where you have verandas all around the house. The verandas are there, the pillars are there. Somehow the pillars look a little unfinished according to me. The setting by as we see it at the moment is a little barren. Yes, it doesn't have that vigor and life as we would like to have it in one of those traditional kind of houses. And the use of polished granite is again not so very conducive for a Kerala style house. I would have preferred a more rustic tile, probably a ceramic tile which is very rustic in nature would have really suited the ambience better. A lot more could have been done.
And what what do you have to say on this?
The house is set in a very large property. It's at an elevated position. The level of the property was actually very ideal to give a grand setting to the house. Even though it is at an elevated level, the house looks very simple, and it does not bring any much energy into that space. You know, the design of the house is very, they've gone for this red tile sloping roof and the veranda and everything, which as it is nice, but there is no wow factor. It's not bringing a wow factor into the house. The landscape is very natural setting. There's not much done on the landscape. The natural setting is just maintained. Natural landscape is good, but some more detailing could have been done in position of plants and some of these trees. It looks very blunt.
And Sudha, what do you think of the interiors of this house?
Talking about the interiors, if you look at each and every aspect of, a lot of detailing has gone into it, and if you look at each aspect, for example, let me take that partition between the living room and the dining room area. The partition has been so extensively detailed. There's a lot of woodwork in it, there's a lot of carving work in the wood, and there is this trellis kind of thing with the light coming from the top. So it's a very detailed out piece of woodwork that has been put in place. But as a contrast to that, what I felt was there's a huge lack of detailing when it comes to the courtyard area. Because the courtyard areas, the pillars are cladded in wood, but the detailing is so simple, and or rather it's just a, it feels like as if just wood is being cladded onto it. So there's a stark contrast there, and even in the detailing, the work is very beautiful, but I felt that the design, there was something lacking. You'll find a full pillar on one side and half of that pillar on the other side next to the wall. So that doesn't give a complete picture. It doesn't fully focus on the detailing. There is something amiss out there. And the use of the darker granite inside has a lot of light has been lost due to that. Pebbles inside the courtyard, it actually contrasts well with the darker flooring outside. But I felt that the courtyard was too deep. So you just didn't see the white pebbles inside the courtyard. It could have been a lot shallower, especially considering that light is the only thing that's coming in, the rain is not coming in, so you didn't need such a deep courtyard. So those kind of things, and above the ceiling of the courtyard also, where the light comes in, extensively detailed. There's color glass, there's trellis work, there's wood polished around it. Extensive things have gone into it in certain areas, in certain other areas it's left blank. Quite a lot of things like that to be seen actually. Detailing in the shutter patterns have been greatly detailed out. The doors also have been detailed out. The handrails is partially wood, partially glass handrail. There is this article. They've tried to bring a lot of things in it, but some places have been missed out. Yes.
And what do you have to say on this?
I believe that a lighter flooring would have brought more light into the house. If you're going for a dark flooring, it's ideal to go for lighter furniture, so that at least that brings a little more brightness and more spacious feel. But in contrast, they've gone for very bulky art leather finish brown sofas, which is very huge. It's not going at all with the kind of feel of the house what you see from outside. Again, a lot of woodwork detail has been done, but not it's not gelling well with all the spaces. The courtyard roof is interesting. They've done a lot of detailing on the roof with the stained glass and the trellis work. But then again, the courtyard itself looks very blunt. There's only pebbles. A little bit of landscape or some plants would have actually brought a little more life into that courtyard. So the courtyard looks like it's just placed there just for the sake of it, but not actually serving the purpose. The kitchen is a very traditional designed kitchen. Woodwork, basic woodwork kitchen. There's nothing very exciting to say about it. And I believe the dining table was very simple and nice, with a very nice chair design. It was a nice dining table. Even the bedroom also, it's very simple. And in one of the bedrooms I saw, it was light pink. Kind of a rose pink color put on all the walls, as well as the curtain is also pink. The bedspread is also pink, so it's like a pink overdose. So these are the areas where I think you should look into to ensure that
sobered it slightly down. And what do you have to say on the lighting, color and decor of this house?
Yes, like we've been saying, that the house feels dark. It doesn't feel bright and light and airy. The black flooring has actually done it in. if it was a lighter flooring. The walls, they've tried to maintain a general ambience of lighter color on the walls, which is mercifully the saving grace there. The white wash basins, it's a new effect that has been brought in there. That's also nice. So, and they've not done too much detailing with respect to the lighting or the ceiling features in the bedrooms. Those things have been totally left out. But the dark floor being as it is, I think it's better left out than being detailed. Okay. So in that way it scores a point there.
Well, one thing I think they have done okay is that they've tried to keep the wall colors very plain and off-white or white. Some natural light, yes, is coming into the house. I also believe that a lot of extensive woodwork is done, so the decor as such is tending to go towards that, but it's not actually accented with, not accented with the right art or art pieces or the other elements which could actually complement it.
Having spoken about all these, what do you have to say about the value for money?
The fact that they've detailed it out so much. In fact, I was surprised at the kind of detailing and the carving that has gone into the woodwork, in some of the woodwork, but not so in some of the others. Okay. So probably a little unfinished look is there about it, and they could have spent a little more money on it, but overall for what they've spent, I guess the effect is there.
And is that what you also feel?
I believe that they could have balanced that, use that not extensively gone for so much of woodwork, use wood minimally in certain areas and balance it, and then they could have taken that money off and spend it for making the bedrooms better, or some other areas better. So I believe that in terms of value for money, they have not got the desired effect.
To hear the grand total of both your scores, and can we start with you for the exteriors? How much would you rate it on 25?
17.
17 on 25, Anuj.
Exterior 16 on 25.
16 on 25, and interiors?
17 again.
What is your score for the interiors?
I have given a 15 on 25.
15 on 25. Now for you, for the color, lighting and decor?
16.
16 on 25.
I have also given a 16 on 25.
Again a 16 on 25. Now the last and the most crucial aspect, which is the value for money. How much have you rated?
Like Anuj said, it's not been distributed well. It's concentrated in a few areas. Right. I'll go for a 15. 15
on 25. And you?
And 16 on 25.
So it would be a sum total of 63 on 100 for Anuj, 65 on 100 for Sudha, and the public total would be on 50 would be 32, and the grand total would be 160 on 250. So let's hear what Sudha has to tell us about lighting of the house.
Today I'd like to talk about the external lighting. We've talked about internal. With regard to the external lighting, it's now become a part of the design to light up the house in a nice manner. We're not talking about excessive flood lighting, making it a landmark in your street or anything like that. We're talking about three things. One is the usefulness of the lighting during the evenings, with respect to security, safety, etc., to demarcate the path, to demarcate your entry point, etc. A second aspect is to highlight certain things which are of value. See, when we build a house, we keep some things that are the focus, something that are not. So we'd like to highlight that, which gives an accent. That's what we mean by accent lighting. Increase the value of something by which we can light it. So the accent lighting. And thirdly, of course, for monumental buildings and other things, we'd go for a particular style of lighting which enhances the entire architecture of the building. When it comes to homes, the first two lightings are good enough. It actually serves the entire purpose of having the lighting. Earlier on, the idea was to give one light and it would light up the entire yard as a general lighting, but that again is gone now. For all this, you don't need to use too much power these days. 1 watt, 3 watt lamps are enough for you to have a beautiful ambience, and your house looks so beautiful with it.
So what do you have to tell us about lighting?
Well, I am going to talk about a natural lighting, in the house. Many a times lighting need not have to be done with artificial light. You can actually bring some natural light into the house. And so when you're designing the house, we should come out with elements and spaces and voids to bring the natural light inside. And this can be done through skylights, through courtyards, through small niches on the wall, through certain, then of course windows. So the play of light in the house is very beautiful. So during the daytime also the house looks nice. So when you're designing a house, please ensure that you try to bring a lot of natural light, highlighting the areas which needs to be highlighted, thereby giving a beautiful ambience in the house.
Which makes you feel closer to the nature, I believe. And with that, I think it's time for us to wind up with this episode of Polycab, India's #1 cable and wires company, Dream Home Season 6. And until next episode, this is all of us saying goodbye.